Greetings and salutations from me, your friendly neighborhood gremlin with a conscience, reporting live from under the bridge, talking about all things anti-MLM and crafts and cults, and today we're gonna be, oh my god, it can't be. Hello? Oh, hi, polite demon lawyer. Yeah. Oh, you think Baby Snark's getting too much airtime? I mean, well, you're both talent on the show. Oh, you think you're not getting enough airtime. Baby Snark more than they like you. I mean, people can have their preferences. Oh, you're saying you have things to say to Kendra and Bryon? Okay. I'll take it under advisement. Okay. Yes, you can come on the show. Okay. Thanks so much. Bye. Today we're going to be looking at Team Legend University, run by Bryon Jaymes and whoever's in his downline. Kendra McMurphy is also talking on this call. It is a little bit older of a call. That doesn't mean that we don't have the 85 plus videos that were on the Team Legend University playlist that was sent to us. This was just a fun little break. And so that's what we're going to be reacting to today. Stay tuned, enjoy the disclaimer, and I will be right back. If you don't know me, I'm DC. I'm a 2-time MLM dropout. I first got in 2014 and I just got out in April 2022, and I've been making content ever since. And I either do live streams, which are my literal absolute fave, or we do these fun pre-recorded videos. Oh, there's a floof here. Let me turn on the floof camera. Where is it? Look at that nug. Look at that nugget. You're a nugget. He's a nugget. You zoom in. Not sure why it's so dark, but here we are. Let's get right into it. Let's transition to the next scene and react, and we'll see what's going on. Just for our viewing sanity, the pauses have been taken out. They don't tend to pause a ton in Pruvit. There's a lot of yelling and intensity of teaching that happens. So we're going to attempt to watch this in 1.25 speed. We have shaved off a few minutes when we've deleted the pauses, but we're gonna see what they have to say. Oh, let me fix the floof cam. Let me fix the floof cam. There's our nugget. This is Caspian, my dog. We also call him Cappyman, Sasspot, Champion, Champy, and am I talking about you? Oh, you mad? I didn't get you anything at the coffee shop. I'm sorry. Sometimes you'll see other floofs here, but it's just him today.
I go, almost forgot. So if you're not able to get on, just make absolutely certain that this commitment that you make to yourself and the people who you're working with is that if you can't get on, you catch the recording. So do I have y'all's permission to lead you through this today and to coach you? And do we have an agreement? Drop a yes in the comments that you will commit to yourself in this 90 days and either
drop a no in the comments if you are going to do your best to stay out of a high control group.
Being on every day if you can, or at least catching the recording at most, because that's super effective too. Awesome. Look at all these yeses. Cool. Super excited. So, and to think about it too, right? Like we talk a lot about building a muscle, right? All of these muscles that we're building. And today we're going to talk about attraction, which is a muscle to build that we build. And
you know, I didn't learn about attraction as part of the, I'm looking my word, muscular skeletal structure. I didn't learn about the attraction muscle in anatomy and physiology or biology or just generally Googling on the internet. It wasn't one of the muscle groups that I know about.
Being on these calls every day and showing up and sharing the links and all of that stuff, it's a muscle that we're going to build, and it's just going to get easier and easier and bigger and bigger. You know, sometimes
attraction is going to get easier and easier and bigger and bigger. Attention shoppers, can someone please come to the front of the store and explain to me how attraction is a muscle that you can exercise? How attraction is a muscle you can exercise. Debunking welcome. Thanks so much. This concludes our request and this page. Bye.
You go to the gym one day and you're like, where's my abs, right? Give it some time, give yourself some grace, you're getting plugged in, you're getting focused, whether you're brand new or you've been here for a little while. So it's going to be super awesome. Eclipse, you guys, did anyone see? It's gone. Did anyone see Eclipse is gone? It is gone.
Yikes.
Drop a 1 in the comments if you got your Eclipse. I literally got on right before I got in here to check and see, and it is gone. Awesome. Sweet. Yes, I love it. So same time, same code every day. I want to share something with y'all, a quote that I read this morning. And it's by Jim Rohn. He said, learn to be thankful for what you already have.
Appropriate since we're going to be doing a video. I don't know if it's going to drop after this one or before this one, but Jim Rohn talking about your Herbalife business. How fun. Not forward slash sarcasm.
You pursue all that you want. So if you're taking notes, literally write that down and let that kind of be the theme throughout your day. I love learn to be thankful for what you already have while you pursue all that you want. That's something for all of us here to really take into our hearts, because we're all pursuing better. We're all pursuing whatever that looks like for us, right? Whether it's better health or better finances or more time or whatever that better is, but appreciating what we have while we pursue what we want, that is the magic. So let's just take 2 minutes, just kind of set the tone and set the pace. Hi. Oop, I thought that door was locked. Say hi. Ashley Lynn. Hey, I'm leaving. Okay, love you. I'll see you in a minute. Hey, I'm going to come do work with you as soon as I'm done. I thought the door was locked. Real life happens, y'all. This is a real thing. Hey, fine. Why don't you go have a popsicle? Go have a popsicle.
Mom, do I have to go to school?
No, baby. Go have a popsicle. I love you.
Is Dad coming over?
I don't know. I love you. That's real life, y'all. That is a real thing. I 100% thought that door was locked today, and it is not. So let's take a second. That gave us an extra moment. Let's just take literally 1 minute and drop 1 or 2 things that you are grateful for today. Trish, Griff isn't at school either. I was like, can I stay home today? I don't feel good. And I was lit. So I love this. Let's drop some gratitude in the comments. If you're able to type, what are you feeling grateful for today? I'm grateful for Ash being my support system here at home. My daughter, heat, the sun, home, healthy babies. Absolutely. These are going quick. I love them. Family, health, personal development. I agree. My home, families, and puppies. Definitely amazing. I love it. Warmer weather. Okay, rub it in. It's really, really cold and snowy here. It's in the negative. All right, awesome. Cool. Awesome. All right. Raise your hand if you are coming to Epic. That is coming up. Double hands if you're bringing someone with you to Epic. Awesome. Very cool. So early bird pricing on that, y'all, is about to be done. So if you're on the fence, you're like, I got to do it. I know I got to do it. I feel it in my heart. Grab that, because that early bird pricing is about to go away. We still have the Rhino runs going on until January 31st. December double down. Lots of cool stuff going.
As a reminder, this is not from recently. This is from a few years ago when she had not disappeared from the face of the planet and was still working her business. And I'm pretty sure she was a legend at the time when she took a break.
On. Let's we're going to shift gears just for 1 minute here. If y'all are with me on that, I want you to think about this business, right? And think about this business. But you said something on the State of Play call last night, and I had my quote here, now it's gone, but it was an MLK quote about the most persistent and urgent question in life is, what can you do for other people? I'm butchering the quote, but basically you guys get the idea. Do you guys remember that from the State of Play call last night? Right? So let's take a minute and think about 2 to 3 people, maybe 1 person or 2 people on your team or that you're in business with that are absolutely crushing it in activity, in action. That they're literally they're showing up every day. They're putting 1 foot in front of the other. Maybe they just got started and they're somewhere between scared and nervous, and they did their first thing. So I'm going to drop their name in the comments and just what you're recognizing them for. Tony Salviano, Emily Maurice, Amanda for her leadership, Wendy Estelle for her consistency, Jade, you guys are going fast. Say Deb Potts for always showing up, Carissa McQuinn for showing up, Andrea Dombrowski for stretching herself. That's awesome. Zach Purdue being a man on our team. Oh, I missed it, but Zach, you're amazing. It's going so fast. Clara Hornberger going outside of her comfort zone. Amazing. Kayla Kelly for always being there for everyone and for her amazing leadership. Teddy Anderson for sharing the ketone conversation. Awesome. Katie Kreitz for embracing the first time ever the law of attraction mindset. That's incredible. Congratulations to her. Georgia Watts for always cheering others on. That's amazing. Brenda and Carrie are going to Epic. That's huge. Awesome. Danielle Eaton slaying the ketone conversation. Katie Miller for being lit for ketones. Hey, that's where it starts. Bryan's about to bring y'all some. We're going to talk about attraction here in just a minute, and that is literally where it starts. Exactly right there.
I don't think I want to learn anything about attraction from Bryon Jaymes, but that's just me.
Paige Brown for stepping into her power and her role as leader. Amazing. These are awesome. At the end of the day, in the beginning of the day, our businesses thrive when we recognize and show up for other people, right? That is the magic. So that's huge. Jesse Daniel, consistency. Awesome. I love it. So we're going to transition here just a second and get into the meat and the potatoes. Raise your hand if you all know Bryon Jaymes. So Bryon Jaymes was the steerer of the speeding car when we got started in this business. and quite literally the place that we plugged into for guidance and support and direction and coaching. He's a brand new dad, which is pretty exciting, and our incredible legend and fearless leader. So I'm going to kick it over to him. He's going to throw down on some attraction 101. So I'm going to mute out. Bryon, you there? Oh, I got to unmute you. That's right. There we go. Got it.
Awesome. Can you hear me okay, Kendra?
Gotcha.
Okay, beautiful. So first off, thank you so much, Kendra. It's so awesome to hear your voice and to have your leadership on here, kicking things off for us. And honestly, my biggest takeaway from this so far is just your little one coming in and just because that is life. Like I can't tell you how important it is to be real and to be authentic and to be transparent. And don't try to be perfect. Don't try to, have this perfect situation and scenario. Really, it's the things that, you think maybe create or take away from this perfect little structure strategy that you have. Like, eliminate that bullshit. That stuff, like, you need to just be real, just be you, and do not apologize for your family, your situation, the things around it. Like, that's the reason why you're doing what you're doing. So thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your family life with us this morning, Kendra. So super excited to be with y'all today. Who's excited to really, who truly yesterday took time? Do me a favor, give me a big hands up if you really did take time yesterday, 10 to 15 minutes, to mentally prepare yourself for the next 90 days, to understand, hey, there's going to be roadblocks, there's going to be struggles, things are going to happen, but you know what?
From what I understand, this was for a 90-day run that they were doing, and definitely getting the, mindset over everything kind of mentality from this team.
I'm making this commitment, and I will be damned if I'm not at the end of 90 days going to be able to rest my head on my pillow and say, you know what? I absolutely gave it my all. I was absolutely in, because what you'll ultimately understand is that any business, I don't care what business it is, for those of you that hopefully have started to read Grant Cardone's The 10X Rule or listen to it, like I said yesterday.
Mark your bingo card for Grant Cardone. Ugh.
The reason why I picked that book is because I love Grant's attitude on action. He's not apologetic for, taking massive amounts of action, but I love how he gives the baseline and the understanding of that. Really, it's not that we underestimate necessarily what it's going. I mean, this all goes in order. It's not necessarily we're going to underestimate what it's going to take to get the end result or even the action, but really making sure that we're underestimating our own capacity to be able to take the action needed in order to get the result that we're looking for. So, with that being said, things take time. And that's the first thing that I have here, is that just understanding to lay the foundation here. Everything takes time, and it's not always going to go in the time frame in which you hope that it's going to happen. But what we're going to do is give you the best tools and the best insights and training and understanding to get results and to start increasing that awareness around those things. So one more time, give me a hands up if you did actually take the time to prepare yourself mentally, because what I will tell you is that a majority of the things that you're going to deal with over the next 90 days will have nothing. Please understand what I'm saying to you right now. They will have nothing to do with your technique. They will have nothing to do with the things, ultimately, the little X's and O's and the things, did I say this wrong? Did I do this wrong? No, it's going to be your mindset.
Are you serious? Bryon, buddy, here's my question. I know we're not buddies. Bryon, Mr. Jaymes, how is sales not something that is going to be part of a skill set, and it's all going to be about mindset? Everything in the 90 days over the next 90-day period is all going to be mindset, and it's not going to be any skill-based dropping the ball that's going to happen. Did you know some people don't make sales because they're bad salespeople? But they're going to say, people like Bryon and Kendra and people on Bryon's team, and we've heard it, people on the Empire too, Bryon is part of or runs Team Legend University, and Jesse Lee's team was the Empire, and they're all part of Pruvit. It's not just about mindset. There's some skills that you can learn in there, but if it's all about mindset, then nobody can take responsibility for being a bad coach or a bad teacher or a bad whatever. Oh my God.
Going to be your attitude. So the first thing I want to help you understand is that this business, and every damn business, is your success is going to come down to 98% attitude and 2% technique. 98% attitude. That's a lot of attitude, because ultimately winners think winner. Like, winners are freaking winners. They're winners in their mind before they're ever winning. Before you ever physically see the winning occur, they started winning in their mind. So I will tell you, when it looked to the outside world like Bryon was losing, in my mind, I didn't give a shit, because I was winning in here. That's where it has to happen first. And you have to tell yourself that. First exercise for you today is find the closest mirror to you, look at that sexy, just amazing, world-changing human being that's looking back at you and say, I am a winner, I am a winner, I am a winner, I'm a freaking winner. Like, that's where it starts. I'm like, oh, that's kind of silly. Well, you know what? Everybody is going to also think that the success that you're going to have here in 2019 is going to be silly. And it's a good sign, right? It's a good sign. When people think you're crazy, you're on the right track. So here we go. We got to lay the foundation. So as we've been talking about here, I talked about it last Friday, I talked about it yesterday, right? ACE, attraction, connection, and enrollment. The key here, if you want to grow quickly, it is so insanely important that you keep things simple. Now, what's great is that the leadership here in Pruvit has come together and made a 100% commitment that, you know what, in 2019, we are going to breed simplicity. We're going to model simplicity, and we're going to breed that simplicity throughout the community. Why? Because simple is what makes your business grow and grow fast, right? Kendra's such a great example of that. When she got started, did she have some skill sets that she had learned? Absolutely. But when she came here, it was literally just about knowing how to do a couple very, very simple things.
Like cross-recruit the team that you had at the company before you came to Pruvit? Is that one of the simple skill sets to have?
Literally, in some way, shape, or form, she attracted people to the ketone conversation. She connected them to people and resources that, in this case, were able to third party, right, and validate what she was attracting them to. And then she simply enrolled them and focused on one thing and one thing only, and that was that thing called the Go Challenge. Why? Because most of the people, at least for her herself, because if you know her story, she was freaking broke. Whatever, $250 plus $500 for GoPro and Go MVP plus whatever commission she would have. That was a big deal to her, wasn't it, Kendra? I see you shaking your head. It absolutely was. So she said, you know what? I want to get this for me. And then when she was able to do that, she turned around and literally said, that's all I know how to do. So I'm going to turn around and help other people do that over and over and over and over again. And then the process literally broke hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of MVPs. And her business as a result of that has continued to grow. And it's provided an insane lifestyle that I know that
Paging the FTC to the internet, paging the FTC to the internet. MLM reps are running wild on all aisles, making income claims. Please see me for further information if you need more direction than that. This is Bryon Jaymes from Pruvit.
that I would want. So that's kind of understanding that, listen, and when you hear, and if you hear, they're like, oh, there's somebody else in Pruvit that's doing it a different way. No, they're not. They're just attracting with their personality, with maybe a different channel, maybe a different style, maybe a different, because we're all different. And we want you to attract people in a multitude of ways. And here's what's so cool. As we go through this, you're going to learn attraction from so many different people. I'll use the example of Katie Rollins. I remember the first time that I came and did a mixer with her, she was so uncomfortable. She was still to this day, she'll tell you that she's uncomfortable in that capacity, but you know what? She was willing to learn. But in the process, you know what Bryon learned from Katie? A whole bunch of cool, unique ways to attract people through social media, because I wasn't good at that at all. So we learn from each other. And what you're going to understand here is that this is a process. We're not going to sit here and try to pile a whole bunch of information on you. We're going to take it a chunk and a piece at a time. So I'm going to use one element of attraction today. Today's attraction. Tomorrow's going to be connection. Thursday's going to be enrollment. And every week you're going to learn from a new dynamic person with current credibility and massive, not just a little bit, but massive achievement on how they effectively attract, connect, and enroll. And there's a lot of ways to do it. And what's cool is if you're like, well, if Nate Justice is like, well, I'm really good at this way, so I'm going to stick with this way. That's perfectly fine. But you know what? He could also learn other ways, because one thing you're going to learn about this, and I'm not picking on you, Nate, but I am. So what I will tell you is
just a spoiler alert, 5 years later or 4 years later in 2023, Bryon still picks on Nate Justice. So yeah, he was picking on you.
Want to learn other ways, because as you have a community, you want to be as diversified as possible. You want to have as many personalities, age groups, colors, backgrounds, races, religions, whatever. Why? Because the team creates the synergy to allow you to attract more people, have more validation, more credibility. That's a good thing. That's a really, really, really good thing. So here we go. ACE, so attract. So here we go. Let's start with the first element of attraction. And do you know how funny it is how most of us, isn't it funny that we literally, and I know it's so cliche, but we do unto others as was done unto us, right? Literally, many of you will find that the same way that you got started, or maybe something that you say or something that you do, it's literally you're helping other people do the same thing that you did. And for me, that's how it started. And yes, I'm going to start so foundationally stupid today that you're going to be like, are you serious? Are you serious? Yeah, well, here's what I'll tell you. It's so foundationally stupid that it took me out of $250,000 in debt to literally making 7 figures over and over and over and over again. So it can't be that.
Hi Brian, polite demon lawyer here. I'm just wondering, have you read the FTC's direction on not making income claims? Because that is an income claim, sir. Flippity flop.
That's stupid, right? So here's the deal. It's simple. It's stupid simple. Let's put it that way. Now, first thing is this, is it's getting your mind right around the fact that we also, when we get started in something, we put all this pressure on ourselves. Why? Because we want to, we think that when we're doing something and we get a no, or we get an answer that we're not looking for, we see it as failure. See, most of us, here's what we think, or here's what we're taught. And it's unfortunate that, and this is why I sucked in school, because, oh, you're getting F's and D's and whatever. Well, here's what I'll tell you. Every A student that I copied off of in school, I will tell you this, our lifestyles are very different today. And they were always so afraid.
You copied off of kids in school, and now you're gonna say that was okay to do because you're hella wealthy? Are you serious right now? Bryon? I don't know what he's gonna say. I'm gonna take a screenshot though.
So afraid to fail. They were always so afraid to get it wrong. They were always so afraid. And you know what? Everything that I was told that I was doing wrong, basically copying off the smartest people, number one. And then number two, not caring whether I was failing or not. Those two things have given me the ability now in life to be massively successful, while other people are still.
Cheating allowed you to become massively successful in multi-level marketing? Because that's what it was. Copying off of the smart kids, taking advantage of the hard work of other people. I think that's like a code of ethics violation when you're in college, and you can get booted from university over that.
Here's the reason why. Because most people in life think that success is over here and that failure is over here. It's the biggest lie in life. And if I could just bring that awareness to you alone, and you quit here tomorrow, and you just take that with you, your life will look completely different if you embrace that. Because here's what I will tell you. Both failure and success are both over there. Guess what? They're both over there too. And here's what's crazy. You have to go through one to get to the other. You have to go through failure to get to success. So in this instance, we look at.
How did your school story even make sense? You copied off of kids in school, so you didn't have to work hard at all. And now you are saying that made you successful in multi-level marketing?
Hey, if I'm gonna ask a question or send a video or do whatever, and I get a response that I'm not looking for, oh, I'm failing. No, you're not failing. I'm sorry, there's a lot of kids home from school today. That's BS. You're not. You're one step closer to the success that you want to have. And as I first said, it will not come in the time in which you think it will. My last 5 enrollments have been people in which most would say it was failures in my first attraction attempt with them. It was what you would judge as a failure. It's what the world would judge as a failure. No, here's how I break it down. It's super simple. The point of attraction is a filter. It's a filter. Have you ever filtered something you want to filter? What's the purpose of a filter? Typically, a filter is used to filter out the bad and only allow the good to come through, right? Or the thing that we want, essentially, to come through. So in this instance, I am filtering with a question, whatever means of attraction, and you're going to learn a lot of different ways of attraction here over the next few weeks from, like I said, incredible people. But my filter from my basic, simple element of attraction is I'm filtering out those that are interested now, from those that are interested later to those that are interested never. Now, later, never. Now, later, never. Now, later, never. And to be honest with you, I am completely disconnected from the outcome of my filter. I don't care. I don't care. It's a filter. My question and my point of attraction is a filter. So for me, I'm going to just simply go to, how did Bryon get started? I could literally dig back up the text where Bryon Underwood sent me a question randomly out of nowhere. Now, Bryon was a B. So let me do this first. There's such thing as and this is just how I categorize it. People categorize it different. Doesn't matter. There's your A list, your B list, and your C list. I break Bryon's entire world network, global network, down into 3 categories: your A list, your B list, and your C list. Where's your A list? Your A list, for me personally, this is my definition. It's someone that I talk to on a weekly, and definitely probably no less than a monthly basis. Like, we are connected. I can literally pick up the phone and have an instant conversation. If there's no rapport that needs to be built, there's none of that. It's literally like we're bros, or we're family, or we're connected, and we stay connected. I would say within a month time frame, but it changes. The point is it doesn't matter. They're a close connection, right? Then there's your B list. They know of you and you know of them. You may randomly connect at times. You know of each other. You may know of each other through other people. But the point is you know each other, but you may not be close. And then your C list is everybody else on planet Earth. Okay, everybody else on planet Earth. So that covers everybody, right? Now, Bryon Underwood, at the time, we started off as definitely B, and then we came kind of closer B list people. And then at the time that he asked me the question, we were A list, but we probably maybe spoke once a month. And it was because, he was going somewhere and I wanted to go somewhere, and, we just stayed in contact. So when he dropped me a text message, I kid you not, still to this day, he said, "Hey dude, what do you know about ketones and ketosis?" And I gave him my response. Now let me help you understand this. It was a negative response. I gave him a negative response. Okay. Then he came back to me with what his version at the time of the campfire video, because I want you to understand, when he asked me the question, there was no campfire video. Say, "Hey, oh, awesome. Watch this quick 4-minute video. Let me know if it makes sense." We didn't have that ability. I don't think it was for another year that we even had. I know for a fact it was another year that we had that, because we had another video before that one that y'all don't even know ever existed. So, but point being is that he then took it the next step and he said, well, hey, what if literally it was a nutritional technology that you could consume and that you could prove that it was being absorbed?
That's not my ding that's going off. That's Bryon James's ding. Not as bad as a smoke detector, low battery ding, but right under there.
In your body, and you didn't have to deal with all that diet stuff and whatever. And I said, that I would be interested in. That sounds intriguing. So still to this day, for Bryon, I've done it in that same simple manner. So what question do I ask? Here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes the secret question of attraction. Hey, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? Literally, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? Now, I'm going to give you some hacks to be more efficient, more effective when you ask it. But it was the question that I asked. And I asked it with my A-list people, those that I knew and those that I communicated with the most. Why? Because I didn't have to build any special rapport. I didn't have to do any of that stuff. I could literally just text message or call or see in person and say, dude, just curious, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? That's it. That's all I did. And once again, it did not matter what they said back to me. It's a filter. One guy is, total asshole in response. Great, it's a filter. You're probably a never, and you just made yourself a never by how much of an a-hole you just were. Because even if you are interested, I'm probably not going to, it's your business. This is your network. You ever realize, and this is a mindset shift, do you realize that you're the one qualifying the people that you want to work with? It's a big difference when you qualify them versus them qualifying you, because most of you, your mindset right now is of, oh, do you think they'll qualify me? Do you think they'll qualify me to be their intro to freaking better? No, that should not be your mindset. That's not a winner's mindset, right? You are in control of your network, your team, and what you want to do here. You don't have to accept anybody you don't want to. So once again, the question is a filter. The question is a filter. Super, super important. Super important. So what do you know about ketones and ketosis? Now, a couple of things that I've learned to do. Now, you've heard the term, and maybe you've even watched the video I did called The Play That Works, right? It's literally running the play. It's literally exactly what I explained that Kendra did in the very beginning. She attracted somebody through however she did it. She connected them to a resource, in this case, what I was using as an example of the campfire video. And there's other resources now, and you're going to learn and you're going to be trained on those to use whatever you deem worthy of your style, your business, whatever. And then the enrollment process. So this is the same thing you're going to do here. Now, a little hack, and this is something that I think is important. So for some of you, here's what I would say, and here's what I would say probably most of you have not done yet. That is, you have not asked that simple question, or you've definitely not attracted, in all the ways you're going to learn attraction, you've not attracted everyone in your A-list. You haven't. And here's the reason I know why. Because I haven't. And I got a whole bunch of customers, and I got a whole bunch of promoters. And I still, in any way, shape, or form, probably come even close to 50% of my A-list. I haven't. Well, why haven't you? Well, sometimes things just take off and your time gets busy and things happen. So you all right now have A-list people that you don't have to create some special video, some special, credibility, some special whatever, some special connection. Literally, you just ask them the question. That's it. Now, for those of you that are going into your A-list, your B-list, and your A-list maybe is starting to stretch out to your B-list and what have you, my little hack is this, as I've kind of moved forward is, for instance, if I'm doing it on Facebook or I'm observing something that someone's saying in a conversation that I'm physically having with them, or I'm in an event environment or whatever, I'm paying attention to maybe I'm in a group conversation and they're talking to somebody else, I'm listening and I'm observing, and I'm just taking notice of things that, most people will spend a little bit, they'll complain, or they will, they'll identify things in their life that they want or they're lacking almost always if you just listen. So what I typically do, and for those of you that are on social media or whatever, I'll click on the...
Does it come across strange to you that people in multi-level marketing are waiting for you to give up something and they're storing it away for strategic usage to try to get you to try their multi-level marketing product, and not just try it, but sign up for their opportunity? Like, they're actively listening to all of the groups that they're hanging out with in real life or interacting with on social media, and they're just basically like information farming to see like what the most viable person is to receive their pitch. I understand that. I understand how advertising works online, where like data mining in terms of Google has your entire search history and what you purchased, then you get targeted ads unless you have a VPN or something like that. You get targeted ads based off of what you already like and buy. But it feels, and maybe somebody else in the comments can explain it more articulately, but it feels strange to have a relationship exploited with someone who you think is your friend or close acquaintance, to listen to them say like, oh yeah, someone's going to give up what holes they have in their life so that you can insert the thing that solves their problem. In this instance, ketones. Yikes, Bryon.
On the profile, I'll scroll down to their last 5 posts and I'll see, what are they doing? This is the best time of the year, folks. We're 3 weeks into 2019. We're 3 weeks into people wanting to, every post on my Facebook is food or somebody exercising or whatever. It's such an easy report in. It's, hey man, I noticed you're exercising a ton lately. That's so freaking awesome. Just curious, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? Hey, literally, hey dude, sometimes I'll be fun. Hey dude, I'm literally getting sick of all your healthy food posts. I'm just super curious, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? The point is that it's still the same question. It's still the same point, the same simple point. This is how Bryon got started, so this is mine. You're gonna hear from somebody else next week and theirs are gonna be completely different. And they're gonna have it in a whole different way in which they do it. But that's how Bryon does it. That's how I do it. That's how I keep it simple. So understanding that it's just acting.
I keep getting confused. Because I thought, like, whenever he talks about himself in the third person, I was like, oh, Brian Underwood? No, himself, Bryon Jaymes.
Upon the attraction. Now, here's the cool thing about this. What this also did, and unknowingly to me, is I did not realize that I was setting up a foundation for all the other means of attraction. So what do I mean by that? So I told you, when I learned how to put cool posts on social media or how to do live videos or do all these cool things that I learned from Katie Kendra and all these other incredible people, is what was crazy is that because I connected with them and because I ran the filter at some point, it laid a foundation for when I took another route of attraction, when I took another means of attraction, it connected the two back together. Grant Cardone does talk about it. I'm not sure if it's in the 10X. I'm pretty sure he talks about it in there, but most people have to be exposed 8 to 13 times on average to something before it sinks in. Because what you don't realize when you're asking somebody, hey, just curious, what are my ketones and ketosis, and they don't respond to you, you're like, oh my God, nobody's interested. That's not the case. They have life, they're busy. Kendra could have just read that message and she wasn't expecting it, but her son jumps in, distracts her, and now all of a sudden she's off to other things that she's doing as a mother and forgets that I even asked her. And then here's what's gonna happen. She's gonna go watch something and see Jillian Michaels talking shit about keto. And by the way, just so y'all know that you see all that stuff, bad press is good press. Bad press is better than no press, folks. It's bringing attraction and light to the conversation. It's amazing. I hope more celebrity people bash the conversation, because bottom line is she's talking about the ketogenic diet, and I don't care about the ketogenic diet because these have nothing to do with that. So point being is, coming back to it, and I'm wrapping up, is that you're running the filter and you don't realize that
Ketones have nothing to do with the ketogenic diet. I know they make the claim that you can eat whatever you want to and drink the ketones and get all the benefits.
You're asking that question. They watch a documentary on Netflix. They see a friend that's talking about, they go to the gym and someone's talking about keto. And then eventually they're like, oh my God, you know what? Bryon sent me a message about keto. And that's what I realized. I saw him make a couple videos and now I realize that. And what does he do? They send a message back. Hey man, yeah, what do I know about keto? There's literally people that 3 years later have sent me back a message like we didn't even, like it was an immediate response to a question I asked him 3 years ago. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you serious? You realize I sent this message to you 3 years ago, right? Yeah, Bryon, I am interested. What's up, yo? Crazy how that works, but it's a filter. Now, later, never. Now, later, never. It's okay. It's okay, right? So my very simple call to action for you today is this, is I want you to focus on your A-list, because I can guarantee you that none of you on here have yet exhausted your A-list of people that you've asked a very simple, attracting question to the conversation about. So in this case, your call to action is this, is 5. Find 5 people that fall into that category of A and send them that very simple message. If you want to connect it back to something more rapport building or relatable, like kind of get.
How about no, let's not exploit our friendships that could be harmed permanently by pitching a multi-level marketing opportunity where someone could get sucked into a broken compensation model. Because in my mind, there's no debate. The compensation model in Pruvit is broken. And then I'm sure someone's going to say, well, I'd rather have a broken compensation model and make a ton of money than do what you're doing. That's fine. Making commission when your downline buys volume from the company instead of waiting for your downline to be able to sell the product to a customer and then submitting your sales and then your upline making a commission is, if that's not happening, then to me it's broken and twisty.
Instagram, whatever, just get a gist if that makes you feel more comfortable. But for some of you, you don't have to do that. I didn't do that. I've started to do it now as I tap into more of my B list, but my A list I didn't. I'm just like, dude, what do you know about it, right? That's what I would challenge you to do today. And tomorrow, you're going to learn how to connect those people. But in the meantime, I'm going to give you a little tip, a little hint for tomorrow, because it's a video. It's 4.5 minutes long. It literally works every time, no matter how ridiculous you think that it is. It works every time. It's the best explanation ever. So with that, that's your call to action. And I'm going to turn it back over to you, Kendra.
Awesome. I'm literally, my head is like, I'm writing names down already. Like, as you were saying that, did anybody else think of like, oh my gosh, I do have so many people on my A list that I haven't spoken to, that I haven't told about this. So I'm super pumped. I had to keep myself from getting my phone and like messaging them already. So, and so thank you so much for that. And I'm so excited to just the simplicity of it. It doesn't matter how long you've done something. Sometimes you have to bring yourself back to the fact that it is literally so simple. It's almost like sometimes the more you know, the like more you like, you're like second guess things and question things. And like, so I feel like when I was brand new, I was like, yes, go, go, go. So if you're brand new, you have that advantage of running. And if you're not, today you got that, you can just take it right back to basics, that just like reintroduction with like, look, this is so simple. So thank you so much. That was super powerful. Tonight, y'all, there is so this was a tool actually that I used to utilize a ton, that we used to utilize a ton. And I'm so super pumped to be able to have access to it again. Ketones 101, right? I'm going to drop the link or Bryon, can you type it in the chat there? So tonight at 6:15 Pacific time, I'm really great at time zones, I'm getting better here, 9:15 Eastern, there is a Ketones 101, okay? That's the link right there, and it will take you directly to the Facebook page. 𝐔𝐒𝐄 is going to be interviewing a firefighter, a 9/11 firefighter, who has lost 90 pounds using ketones, y'all.
What?
90 pounds. So it's an amazing, today we talked about that attraction tool, right? And tomorrow Bryon's going to talk about the connection piece. This right here,
A 9/11 firefighter lost 90 pounds drinking ketones. I need to find that interview.
if you have anyone that you're talking to, invite them to watch this, tag them in the video, literally if not, literally if you get on yourself. Like for me, I remember like before I even started using them, these Ketone 101 calls, I was like, what is this? Let me get on. And I learned so much that it built my belief. I remember hearing from Sylvia and some other people and being like, oh my gosh, like it validated what I was already feeling, and it caused my belief to grow through the roof. And like Bryon said in the beginning, what did she say? I wrote it down. 98% attitude and 2% technique. Being plugged into those Ketone 101, I would get off there and I'd be so fired up. My attitude, my belief would be so on point that it didn't matter what anybody said to me. If they said yes or no or whatever. So it's different from Ketone Clarity. I do see some questions over there. It's really just, stories, right? From people who have had an experience on the product. And what's cool is that we can relate those stories to different people that we're talking to. So that's at 6:15 Pacific time, 9:15 Eastern Standard Time. The link is right there. If you didn't see it, it's www.ketonequestions.com, and it will automatically link you to the Facebook page where we can share those links out and all of that. So I'm excited to go and take some massive action on this call to action. Anybody else gonna jump off here? And I mean, the door's locked, so I have some alone time, so I'll do it now. Do it now, get it done, so that way you can exactly 10x your day, just like Dawn said. So with that being said, I think this call is officially a wrap. Bryon, are you complete? Are you good? All right, y'all are so awesome. Thank you for showing up today. Give yourself some massive gratitude for that, because that's one step closer to having those dreams and goals fulfilled for the year. So you guys are amazing, and that's officially a wrap. We'll see you later.
What in the flippity flop did we just listen to? Oh my god, Baby Snark didn't even come out to comment on this. That's okay. Black Demon Lawyer had a small moment of glory. 9/11 firefighter loses 90 pounds drinking ketones. If you know of the video and you have it and you want to link it to me, feel free to go to my campsite bio and submit there. That's where all of my links are listed, and it's the easiest place to upload any video size, and it's going to get imported into my Google Drive directly, and you don't have to be logged into Google to do it. Campsite.bio/say hello to DC. I'll put it on the screen because I can do that. But it's very legible. This is where you can go to submit anything to me. It is https://campsite.bio/say hello to DC, and I'll link it in the description as well. Thanks so much for hanging out for this short and quick video. If you like longer videos like live streams where you can hang out with the live chat, I also do those. And if you did like this video, I'd love for you to do all the YouTubey things, like the stream, subscribe, turn on notifications if you want to be alerted when I go live or if I post another video, like a pre-recorded situation going on. Thank you so much for your support, and I will see you next time. Toodles!